Welcome to the Dr. Random podcast. I'm Dr. Sarah, and here's the deal. We don't do boxes here. Every episode is different, every conversation has its own flavor, and no topic is off limits. If you're looking for predictable, this isn't it. But if you want real conversations, honest takes, and a touch of intellect in the best way, you're in the right place. This is Dr. Random Podcast. Well, hello, and welcome to the Dr. Random Podcast. I'm Dr. Sarah, and I'm very excited today because I have as my guest country music star, country musician, Lauren Hall, local here to Charleston. Welcome, Lauren.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
So good to see you again.
Yeah. So just to tell the listeners how we kind of met, I was volunteering with SC 250 on 4th of July, and I was tasked the assignment of talent escort. And so
you were so perfect too. I didn't know they were even doing that. And I was like doing my makeup in the little green room area. And I was like asking one of my friends, I'm like, should I do a red lip? And you just were like, yes. I was like, I like her. And then they told us, like, oh, she's escorting you. I was like, oh, nice.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, it was a fun day.
Mm-hmm. And man, I don't think I've ever seen so many people in downtown Charleston that day.
It was crazy. Like, I mean, it was such a well-organized event, and it was so cool to be a part of it. But definitely, like, people couldn't even get in. I had some friends that, like, because I don't think it was a ticketed event. So they had to like cap it and like not let people in. And then like, but yeah, we couldn't even get out of downtown till like midnight because all the band, we were all parked in parking garages and it was like crazy. There's so many people.
Wow. Yeah. And you were amazing on stage that day. And it was such a great experience to do that too. So it was fun for me to see what it was like. I kind of felt like I was like Secret Service or something with like my badge.
Yeah, it was
like
so
escorting.
Cool. Yeah, well, it was like I really appreciated that because we do a lot of different events, and like you could tell they took the time to really do it very professionally, and like having someone like with us like you was like so helpful just because like, you know, like here you go, this is where you're going, here's your times. Like we kind of have the schedule already, but it was just very professional of them to do that.
Thank you. Yeah. And so now you're born and raised Charleston girl who's become a staple in the low country music scene. And so for listeners who might not know you yet, how would you describe your sound and where you're at in your career right now?
I'm a country artist. So like I love all sorts of music, but I definitely lean like I love 90s country and like the early 2000s kind of sound. And I think that's coming back a lot because country kind of crosses over a lot right now, which is great. I mean, it's introduced a lot of people to the genre and there's like something for everybody. But my music definitely tends to lean more that kind of organic, like you can hear the instrumentation. It's not overproduced. It's kind of got that like, you know, like 90s, like Shania, Faith Hill, the Chicks kind of vibe. I mean, so I try to lean that direction with my music.
Yeah.
My career, I'm like at a place where I'm pretty content with it. I'm sure we're going to talk about it later, but I got married last year and we are expecting our first baby, which we're so excited about. But just kind of looking at, thank you, my year with like career stuff, I'm like, I try to go back and forth to Nashville and like set up rights, and we're still playing a lot in Charleston. So it's good. I think once like later next year, I'd like to tour a little more and go to like some different cities and
yeah,
that's kind of like a goal.
Cool. And speaking of Nashville, kind of interesting. So my mother's second husband actually was a country music artist in Nashville, and he made a couple records. Nothing big, but I remember when they went to Nashville to go visit. They got to go to the Grand Ole Opry, and they met, oh my goodness. He sings that song. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on his name. He sings that song like the old black train is coming. Josh Turner.
Josh Turner, who's from South Carolina. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. They got to meet him like right before he kind of went off in his career. So that was interesting.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's like from upstate South Carolina somewhere.
Okay.
But that's awesome. Yeah. The Opry and like the Ryman, like that's definitely bucket list. Like just going to a show there is like magical, but every country artist, like the mother church, you want to play there at some point.
Mm-hmm. You know? Yeah, I know. I have yet to I haven't visited Nashville yet, so
really
do that. Yeah,
it's so fun. I mean, it's like it can be a little overwhelming, but it's very fun. Like it's crazy. Mm-hmm. There's so much talent. You kind of have to find. I mean, you have to go see Broadway. It's like part of that, but like I prefer to go find like the local spots and the writers rounds and like seeing the heart of Nashville with the songwriting and the people behind, mm-hmm. Those big songs is really, really special.
Yeah. And so you've been performing since your middle and high school years, playing in different bars, headlining shows, and opening for big names. What's one early gig in the Carolinas that still stands out as this is a really happening moment for you as a musician? What'd you say?
Probably we got to do a show with Travis Tritt, and that was like the first big show I ever got to do. I think I was like 18. Mm-hmm. And that was really like the way it happened was that's why like I always tell young artists like you really just play anywhere and wherever the opportunities are, because you don't know where it's going to lead and like what person's going to see you, or like it can open a door that you don't even know about. Because we started the local bar scene, and the guy who books Red's Ice House was helping organize this concert series called Live at the Grove, and he liked having us at Red's, and he was like, do you want to open for Travis Tritt? I'm like, yeah.
I'm like, yes. Okay.
It's like a big production, like huge stage, like it's, and I had full on bronchitis for that. So it's definitely memorable.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of wild. I like didn't have a voice like days before the show, but I was like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah. Aw. And that's really cool. And so you've been basically in your career journey and breakthroughs, you've opened for an impressive list of artists, like what you just mentioned, Travis Tritt, Miranda Lambert, tribute kind of vibes recently, Carly Pearce, Riley Green, and more. Mm-hmm. I love Riley Green. And what's one of the most valuable lessons that you've learned from sharing the stage with those pros?
I think it actually, like, I always talk about this because I've done multiple shows with Lauren Alaina. She was like on the American Idol with Scotty McCreery, and she's like, I mean, she's still like a bigger art. She's like, she's had to work a lot harder than a lot of people, I feel like, and she's like such a kind person. And every time I've done a show with her, she's always takes the time to like acknowledge that we're the opener and like talk to me or the band. Like her band members always acknowledge us and like make us feel like it's not just their show, like it's our show too, even though we're not even touring with her. We got added as local support, and they just seem to really like care who's on that stage with them. And like that's something that really has always meant a lot to me. If I ever have someone play before me, I want that person to like feel valued and feel like it's their show too. They're not just like, hey, here's your 25-minute set. It's my thing now. And I think watching someone do that has made a lot of impact on how I think about shows and, if I ever get big opportunities.
That's, I love that because I don't know if a lot of times we think about that when, as people who are in the audience of, buying tickets and going to shows, like what you're talking about. I don't know. I love that because it's kind of like putting a kind of like a kindness, like a love vibe in there.
Yeah, because it's like there's a lot. I mean, it's a really competitive business, and especially like it's gotten a lot better, but it's like country music, like with women especially, like there was a time where they weren't getting played on radio as much, and like it just became almost like I don't want to say there was a lot of like I mean, it was competition, but like there was this kind of stigma that like women had to kind of like be against each other because there were only so many spots available,
Uh-huh.
And I just really appreciate when that's like that idea is not a thing where it's like, no, like I opened for Lauren and Carly and like they're super
Mm-hmm.
kind. And so it's like that meant a lot to me.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And like you were talking about kind of the 90s country music. I love the 90s country. Mm-hmm. Like I love George Strait, Tim McGraw.
Yeah, it's 90s. It feels like a little like time bubble where like it was just, I don't know, it was like such a special era, like the sound, the style, the artist. It just like every time I'm on set, like when we do a normal bar gig, we have a whole part of the song set where we just go all 90s, and it's like you can just watch the room's vibe change. Like everybody's just like, oh my God, they're like so nostalgic, and it's so fun.
Yeah. I also love John Michael Montgomery.
Mm-hmm.
That one really romantic song. What is that song he sings that I love? You probably know it better than me. Oh my gosh, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's like a really romantic one he sings.
I know what you're talking about. I'm just blanking. This is
what
happens. This is what happens. We have 150 songs in my head, and they're like, well, "What songs?"
Yeah,
I need a list.
Yeah, and your EP Broke My Heart Just Enough was recorded in Nashville with some heavy hitter collaborators and producers, like those tied to Lee Brice. So walk us through that experience. What surprised you most about the Nashville process versus your local country roots?
It's a whole new world. It's like, I mean, both are like there's so many talented musicians here in Charleston, and I've had the privilege of being able to have a band. Like some people like, it's hard to keep a band together like sometimes, and like just having steady players who are talented want to like, offer their talent to like collaborate with you is just such a special thing. And so I love my band here. But I met my producer, Dan Frizzell, when I want to say I was like 22 maybe, but the way they do things, they bring in session players. So they're like the top, people that are getting called, and for guitar players, it's like only like 5 top session guitar players, and they'll go from playing on like Keith Urban's record and then go do an independent artist record like mine. And they're the kindest, most professional people. And they walk in the studio and like have never heard your song. It's just me, acoustic guitar on a voice memo. And they sit there in front of you and chart it out. They go, cool. Yeah, this is the vibe. They go in the room, and literally it sounds like it could be on the radio within 5 minutes. It's like they're like a machine. It's crazy. But they're almost like part songwriter too, because it's like, especially songs that are like bare bones and like I've never played it with my band. Because sometimes I'll workshop like songs with my band and then come to Nashville with those ideas we already have. But I think the most impressive part is seeing like a song that I just have written, and I'm like, well, we've never played it. I don't really know what the instrumentation is yet. And then seeing their creativity come out and like bring it to life is like a really, really cool thing. It's just like, and that's why people go there a lot of times to record, because it's like the most efficient way for the money. Like you're going to knock out, you could do 4 songs in under 2 hours and they're ready to go. They just need to be mixed and mastered, just because those people are doing it every single day. They know the sound of like country music right now. Like, and if you have a good producer that's kind of steering the ship, like it's just a very, very cool experience as a songwriter to see your vision of your song like just become so much bigger, you know?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Probably just seeing that for the first time, like watching musicians that play for artists like that come in on one of my songs and what they have to bring to it was just really magical to me.
Yeah, that's neat. And your songs like Gone, Backwards, Thank You Very Much, and Excuse have gotten Spotify playlist love and local radio play. Which song would you say, or I don't know, maybe not even the ones I just listed, like what would you say is the most personal song to you? And if you don't mind sharing the story behind it, maybe.
Yeah. Backwards is definitely a really personal song. So I wrote it. I almost had to get vocal surgery in 2018, I think, and I had to like stop shows completely, and it was just kind of a crazy time because I was like on the books to get surgery because I had it's like a similar thing that Adele had. It was like a ruptured like vein on your vocal cords.
Oh, wow.
So I'm pretty sure mine wasn't as bad as hers because she did have to get surgery, but I started working with my vocal coaches they're professional opera singers, and I literally started working with them a month before the surgery, and they're like, do not get the surgery because, it can permanently alter your voice, and like for the better or for the worse, you just don't know. Like you can't really undo if they go in there and, something wrong happens. And so they were like, well, just go on vocal rest for a month. Don't talk for a month. And then we're going to have to retrain you and like get your voice strong again. And hopefully the scar tissue will heal itself. And thank God it did. But while I was in that like bubble, I had like a dry erase board and an app on my phone that would talk for me. And this is like before like chat GPT and everything. So I was like, it was some old app where you could have like voices with like an accent or something. But it was hard because like everything I've been doing for like 8 years, I just stop, can't talk. You're going to just be in a little bubble for a while. So I wrote that song Backwards. Because I couldn't sing or talk, I just started like typing the words on my phone without being able to do what I normally do and like go hum a melody or whatever.
Yeah.
And so when they told me I could sing like every other day for like 30 minutes, I like went to that song first, and it just kind of fell out of me, like the melody, like the whole arrangement and everything.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like I just had this idea that, when you're in that bubble of going through something hard, it's difficult to see the purpose in it and like how it's going to positively affect your life really until you can like get past it. And then when you look back on it, you can see how like, God kind of had his hand in it, and like certain things that like maybe wouldn't have happened. Like for me personally, that helped me stop doing all these cover gigs and focus on my original music. And I started going to Nashville more after it because I wasn't able to do my normal 3 to 4 hour gigs 4 times a week. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to pour into my writing. And that's when I met my producer and kind of just started that journey. So I don't know if I hadn't have stopped, if I would have focused on that as much. So it's a really special song to me for sure.
Yeah. And what do you mind? Well, I'm going to save that question. I was going to ask you for a little bit later. Okay. and so you've won Best Female Vocalist and other awards in Charleston. So how has local support from fans at the Windjammer to festivals like Carolina Country Music Festival and the Riverfront Revival kind of shaped your path, would you say?
It's shaped me in a lot of ways. I think one thing I see I think a lot of people are really frustrated with right now is as artists, like there's such a push for the digital side of everything and the followers and the TikTok and, getting in front of like a mass amount of people on the internet. And I think that people just want to go out and play shows and have real interactions with people and fans and repeated people that like they recognize their face, they came to a show. And I think like younger artists are sometimes getting so entrapped in that like I was like, don't lose sight of the fact that like this family has been seeing you play since you were 15 and like they've followed your career and like because those people are like real people that will go vote for you if you're up for some award or they're going to go pre-save your song. They're actual people that pay attention to what you're doing in your career versus just a number, which I understand. Like the numbers are important. Like that's just what the world we live in. It has to be that way. But I think having local support and people that'll actually like know you as an artist and like have favorite songs of yours and like be able to tell you the first time they saw you play, like it's really important because those are people that stick with you. I mean, the majority of your career. Like they're not just like they saw a video of you on TikTok and they're like, oh, I'll follow this person. And then they're like, well, I'm gonna unfollow them. I don't really know them. Or if you're promoting a song, they're like, you know what I mean? There's not as much like, it's not as personal, So I think having a local base and community is really important.
Yeah. I love all that you were just speaking to because I feel like that can also play into other stuff people deal with. Like you talk about how God had a plan, or sometimes when you're in it, you're like, you don't get it. You don't understand. Like, why am I going through this right now? It's so hard when you're going through hard times. I actually, to be a little personal on the podcast right now, I've actually been, kind of looking for that like job, like that next step in my career to kind of like fund my dreams, keep my things going with my art and my podcast. But I still need to bring in the bread and the butter, kind of thing. And I don't know what it is, but it's like, I feel like, well, God, there must be some reason. There's something going on here because it's like, I can't make sense of it right now, but I know that my faith and my prayers, something, you know what I mean? It's hard.
It's hard when like, but it honestly takes like you saying like, it's really sweet you said that. Cause it's like you saying yes to things that like, and like you or me or anybody, like you're trying to pursue the thing you actually want to do. But sometimes that looks like you saying yes to things that maybe you don't think are directly linked to it. But like, for example, like you said yes to doing the thing with SC250 and like we met, and then that's leading to like different connections and like opportunities for you, for me. And like, he can weave it together in a way where you're like, oh, that's really cool to see how it's like your dream is going up, but it's not always how you think it's going to happen,
That's so true.
My mom always says he likes cliffhangers. It's very true.
It's like life is a cliffhanger. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I love that.
But great for you for pursuing I mean, like people really, especially like podcasts right now, because I'm a big fan of podcasts. I usually listen to like a podcast when I'm doing my makeup before a show. It's just like calming to me because it gets me out of my own head, But people are seeking that and they want that. They want positivity. They want to hear people's stories. So it's great that you're pursuing it. Like just keep doing it,
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also music is so important. I was just going to say like music gets me through everything. We even talked about this in one of my last podcasts when I had Dr. Karen Luis on, which was about fatherless daughters and that impact on a girl's life.
Yeah.
And talks about how music helps people get through things. Sometimes that's like the best therapy. Like I know for me, like I love music. I depend on my music. So when I'm painting, I blast my music. And, So country music especially, I feel like it's just, to me, it's a sentimental kind of nostalgic vibe to it when I'm kind of in a romantic mood or want to be nostalgic
Yeah,
or, you know,
agree. It's
sentimental.
like especially the storytelling of country music. Like it's one thing like I love about it too. It's like you can find like your story and like find the songs that kind of match up with your story or what you're
Mm-hmm.
going through. And
Yeah.
it's like they put words to an emotion you have. And like that's
Yeah.
like a really, it's just like a very connecting thing as humans.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. And so some of your influences for your songwriting and creative range from, it sounds like, Dolly Parton, Miranda Lambert, is it Alison Krauss, to Taylor Swift, and I'm going to say this, am I going to say her name wrong? Casey Musgraves? Musgraves?
Musgrave, my,
Musgraves?
my producer said Casey Muskrat. Casey
Musgraves?
Muskrat. Yeah, like that was for sure. And like more recently, like Ella Langley's like, I mean, she's killing it right now. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like those are definitely like my influences for sure. I didn't grow up on country music though, so it's like my parents didn't listen to it. Ironically, my mom works for a big country station in town and
Mm-hmm.
it still wasn't really her thing. So I kind of got into it myself. So I kind of had to like backtrack. I like started with Taylor Swift because I was like 12 and I mean, still love her to this day, but that was
Yeah.
kind of my introduction. I was like, oh, I like Taylor Swift. I like the songwriting style. I like the sound. And then it was like I kind of had to like go backwards and go find, you know, Dixie Chick, Shania Twain, Trisha Yearwood, I mean, obviously I knew who Dolly Parton was, but it kind
Mm-hmm.
of I felt like I was like opening this whole world of like music. I
Yeah.
was like, oh my gosh, I love this.
Yeah. And do you know who Mindy McCready was?
I don't.
Oh, okay. I used to like some of her music, but I think she was one of those kind of 2000s. Yeah, I think she
Yeah,
was like a 2000s artist, but yeah. It's so weird to say 2000s. I always feel like that's awkward. It's like 90s and 80s is easier to say than 2000s.
yeah, no, it
Like,
is crazy. I saw
but
this like stat and it was like it like had like, oh, like if you are having a kid in 2027, they'll be graduating and like it had all the numbers and I'm like, I sent it to my husband. I was like, wait, I feel old now.
oh,
So like
no,
sometimes like people are like, oh, I was born in like 2010. I'm like,
yeah. That's
okay.
like, yeah, I know. It's like, oh my goodness. And yeah, and so would you say that any of your influence kind of maybe blend into your acoustic driven contemporary, would you say contemporary country with an organic edge style?
Yeah.
Is that how you
I
would kind of?
yeah, I mean, I still lean very like I mean, it was funny. We just played a Taylor Swift tribute show where we were the opener. So it was at the Windjammer and it was really fun.
That
But
looked
it was
an
cool because
awesome concert.
I played a lot more of my originals as the opening act.
Yeah.
And it was cool because like knowing that's kind of my style of writing, I was like, I bet this will do well with this audience. And it did, which was awesome to see. But I definitely lean like I love Taylor's like her ability to like bring stuff from her life and her relationships and like make it this story and it's the hooks of the songs are always like it
Mm-hmm.
was a
Mm-hmm.
really cool hook where you're like, oh, that makes so much sense, but it's like kind of profound.
Yeah.
But then with like the more countryer influences like Dolly and Miranda, it's like I like the production style of how they write and the instrumentation and the kind of edginess of like Miranda and there's a little more like there's a lot of storytelling in country music where it can be their life or it can be somebody else's story, but
Mm-hmm.
they do that. Like I try to merge like those two worlds with how I write. I definitely
Mm-hmm.
try to keep it like, a lot of my writing has stayed like, relationships I've gone through or life stuff or,
Yeah.
so I try to lean into that with when I approach a song for sure.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And that show looked amazing. I was actually going to try to make
So
that one.
fun. It was so cute too. Like so many little girls were like in the front row and they had their sparkles and like the friendship bracelets. It was really cool.
That's cute.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely different for the Windjammer. The guy who books me was like, "This is a little different for our crowd." He's like, "But it worked." I was like,
Uh-huh.
"Did."
Yeah. And now, so you're also a radio co-host? Is that correct information? And so how does that side of the industry influence your own music and connections with fans?
So I was for 2 years with Hunter and
okay.
Chris with 92.5 Kickin' Country.
Oh, okay.
And I go on there occasionally. It's, it's really, really sad. TJ Phillips, he's been a DJ in Charleston. Just like people just love TJ. He was such a kind person. He passed away suddenly. I think it was last summer. So they kind of like, I was in the afternoon with Hunter and Kush, and then they kind of merged the morning show that was TJ and Jessica and added Jessica to be with Hunter and Kush as the morning show. So
okay.
we kind of rearranged everything with the shows, and like I was kind of it happened really organically. Like when I was on there, like it wasn't like I was on there full time. I would do it every Tuesday, and we would go by Holland Dopes, which was really fun. Like it happened because Hunter, the program director over there, when I first joined Kickin', we met at a show and we like became friends, and my song Gone was just coming out and he like fell in love with the song and he actually added it into their normal rotation, which was like crazy. It was during 2022, so like COVID year. But I just became friends with them, and whenever I would release music, they're like, "You want to come on the show?" And then I would come on for like a 5-minute segment, and then they'd be like, "Why don't you just stay for the afternoon? This is fun." So I miss it. They're still like
natural.
They're like my crazy uncles, but I definitely miss it. Hopefully one day. They keep talking about like trying to find a way to like bring it back. So we'll see. We'll see if that happens.
Okay. Awesome.
But it's definitely fun. Like being on that side of things was really as an artist, like seeing how they operate and how they, talk about like new artists bringing in their single and promoting it to radio, and just hearing all that, being behind the curtain of that was kind of cool.
So now I have a question. Would you want to play a song for the audience?
Oh, I was not prepared, but
if you don't, I know that was.
I have band gear that's packed up right now.
Okay.
And that's like my whole like case of like picks and capos and stuff. We'll see at the end. I would just have to like run out and grab some stuff.
Grab your guitar real quick or something. Okay. Yeah. Now, I guess I was wondering, what would you say? Do you feel like you have any favorite movies that have been based around country music? Because I know there's a couple out there, but I have one. But I'm just curious to see if maybe you're the same one or different.
Movies
or just kind of country themed, or you've seen Pure Country, right? Have you seen Pure Country?
Yeah, I have seen that. Blanking. I like didn't watch TV a ton as a kid, so I'm like, do you have a list of names that are going to trigger my memory? Because I know I've seen some of them.
Well, I guess if you see Pure Country, I love that with Urban Cowboy.
Yeah.
I know. Trying to think of the other ones. Wasn't there one called like Wild Hearts or something about the girl with the horse?
Yes. Yeah. There was that. I feel like there was one. There's more of a recent one. It wasn't really like a. I feel like I just saw it.
A series.
Well, obviously the Nashville series. Like I up with that. Like I was late to the party, but I got hooked on that show. I think that like it was really cool. They like really embraced the city and the songwriters, and one of the guys I write with a lot was really involved with like, they picked from like trying to pick songs for like the actors. Like they pitched songs from actual songwriters in the town to feature on the show, which was really, really cool.
Yeah.
But I definitely got hooked on that show.
Okay. I'll have to watch it. I've never actually watched Nashville.
It's really good. And the music, like, I know like a lot of the songwriting, I mean, I think some of them were actual musicians, like Charles Eston, I'm pretty sure he's definitely, because he plays Charleston all the time, but a lot of them were actors that could sing, and like they really embraced just playing that role and really leaning into that. So it's really good. I highly recommend it.
Cool. And so basically more of like your roots in Charleston, the Low Country, that are woven in your identity. What parts of South Carolina life, like the beaches, food, culture, community, would you say show up in your music or keep you grounded here?
I think that, I mean, Charleston's such a special place. Like it's definitely like changed a lot with like, I feel like so many people have moved here, and like it's great. I mean, no wonder it's beautiful, and like there's so much here that people love and want to experience. I think just like it's not too big of a city. It's kind of maintained its like like it's just maintained its ability to stay like kind of like slow paced, versus that's why like I've never moved to Nashville, and I try to like spend time there and come back, but I like being here and like not having to be in a big city and the chaos of that. You're 20 minutes from the beach. You can, especially as a songwriter, you can clear your head and go for a walk where it's like stunning, or like it's just like a really inspiring place. I feel like, because Nashville is very like, I feel like it's one big machine, and people are like all like, especially like writers, or which is a beautiful system. It's very efficient, but like every day they go in like a little writing cubicle room with no windows sometimes, you know what I mean? Like where it's like, I just feel like it's really hard to like, if you're just doing that like repetitively, like for it not to get like monotonous, you know what I mean? And not have a change of scenery. So I think I just really like it. Still feels like home, and it's slow paced, and just it's inspiring to me.
Yeah, one thing I've definitely noticed being in Charleston is, like you said, kind of the slow pace, especially with the heat in the summer. I totally understand now the sitting on the porch sipping on tea.
Yeah,
kind of like
my happy place. Like I have an egg chair, and I call it my grandma hobbies, but I got into planting a cut flower garden. So like I have all these flowers in my raised garden bed. I'm just a grandma. I'm like, and like I'll play my late night shows, and then like during the day, I'm just like, I mean, I take care of like, I book all the shows. I'm handling all the scheduling and booking and stuff during the week, and still trying to write and stuff. But I like to be home. I like to be at my porch. It's, I like that slower pace.
Yes. I will say that's one thing I kind of miss, is that we always used to do Sunday dinners, and my aunt and uncle had a little like fire pit on there. They had like a covered patio. So we would sit out there. He'd always be barbecuing or making something. And then there was a fire pit on the covered patio, and we'd sit around at night, like sipping wine or whatever. I love anything with like a fire pit bonfire. I love that. There's just something about
it's like, it's like the best. It's such a comforting, like we like want to do like a setup with like a fire pit, and like, because we love to have people over, and I kind of grew up that way too, where like the fire pit, like my dad has one of those like solo stove things. He actually has it down on the dock. So like when it's like wintertime, we'll sit on the dock, and like it's just nice, like a glass of wine.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's great,
Yes. with some music playing.
Music, yeah, it's just that's like the best. Like,
yeah, love it.
part of living.
And, yeah, and so I guess, and again, I know we were going to talk about skin. So congrats on your pregnancy.
Thank you.
And that's it's if you want to share with the audience anything on that, but I was going to ask kind of how you feel like the new chapter will affect maybe your songwriting, touring schedule, or perspective on balancing music with family life.
Yeah, it's definitely it's, you know, opens a whole another door of like songwriting too, and like just feeling, which I'm like still really early, so I haven't felt like, I feel like I felt like flutters in my stomach, but like the idea of like the baby feeling music, like when I'm on stage or like writing, it's a really surreal thing to think about. But the, you know, the songwriting that I'm going to be able to, I already have gotten into, and I'm going to be able to like have that whole other chapter to write about. But it's definitely, I've had a pretty rough first trimester, which is funny because when I met you, no one knew I was pregnant yet, really. So
Okay.
I was like playing all these shows. Like July's been so busy, and like June was busy too. And I was just powering through, trying not to throw up. So that was a little tricky, just navigating that. Like my band knew right away because I was like, hey, if I like feel bad, can y'all like sing some songs so I can like get off stage?
Oh my goodness.
I didn't have to do that, thankfully, but it was a little tricky, a little bit of an adjustment. I don't really know what it looks like in the fall because I you know, it's uncharted territory. I don't know how comfortable I will be with gigs. But, my plan is like I'm gonna continue playing probably until like October. I'm due in January, so we'll see. I like, you know, I'm trying to picture like the guitar is gonna be out to here, and like, people are gonna walk into a bar like, oh, there's a pregnant lady on stage. Okay.
Aww.
But yeah, I'm gonna, as long as I'm comfortable and it's healthy, like for me to be up there, you know, and I'm hydrated, you know, I'm gonna keep doing it, like, and not try to overdo it. But for next year, I don't really know what it looks like yet. I definitely have lots of aunties that are like my friends and like band members' wives. They're like, "Oh, we'll have the baby while you guys play." But I don't know. I probably will. It's kind of good timing because January is our slower time anyway, so it'll take some time to get myself back into playing, like for later spring, summer shows next year. So it actually kind of worked out, so I can kind of go into my little hibernation in the wintertime, which usually it's really slow in general. So
it's like perfect.
We'll see about next year, but I feel like I have a good plan while I'm pregnant with shows. We'll just, you know, I don't know how soon I'm going to want to go back. So that's just, I'm TBD, but probably like definitely like next summer, I'll be back into it for sure.
Yeah, that's so exciting. That's so precious too. It's such a, I love
it. We're so excited. Like we did our little announcement. I got a little onesie and it's like newest band member.
Aw, that's so cute.
So we have like a little gender reveal we're doing actually, this weekend. So we'll see if it's a girl or boy, but a lot of people are saying girl. I've felt girl personally, but we shall see. Either way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and you know, I met your band members too. They were also nice, and you guys, you could sense just like a good, like, I don't know, kind of camaraderie with you guys, and you know, like you could feel like the team kind of we mentality with your band.
And that's we try to keep that, and like a lot of my band members, they have that like instilled in them a lot too, because they play at like in church ministry, and they've all played together in like other environments, and they've been with me for, a couple years now. And it's definitely like you want your band to feel like a unit, and like you're all working together, and it's not just like, here's me, the artist, and hired guns behind me. Like, not like, because like that's very Nashville. Like that's what they do. Like the whole band, like there used to be like bands, you know what I mean? Like bands had record deals. Like it wasn't as much, oh, the artist, but now that's how it is because of the branding, and like people just want to follow you in your life. But I always want my band, and like Taylor Swift was always really great about this. Like her band always has like a spotlight, and she always like highlights them in like a certain way, like literally to the point where, because I've followed her for such a long time, but it's kind of a fun story. Her guitar player of like, he's been with her the whole time, like probably the longest musician that's been with her, like 18 years. His name's Paul Sidoti. He, on their off season when she wasn't touring, he like plays at a Nashville honky tonk bar on Broadway. And I didn't know this at the time, but I was just like walking past the window listening, and I like looked in the window and like thought I recognized him because she always like highlight all her band members. So like I knew who they were. And he turns around, and he's like, "You look like a singer." I was like, "You look like Taylor Swift's guitar player." And he goes, "I am. You want to come sing?" And I went and like did 2 songs with their band. It was so cool. But like,
oh, that's amazing.
I say that to say like she does such a good job of being like, these are my people, this is my crew, this is my family, to the point where her fans actually know like, oh, that's her guitar player. Yeah, that's that guy. Like that's what he does. Like I think that's special and important to do for sure. But I love my guys. Like I'm very fortunate to have a good band.
Do you want to say all their names and what they play real quick for the audience?
Yeah. So Paul Francisco, he's my keys player. He sings backup vocals. He's our MD. So basically MD is like, we have in-ears in. So he's kind of the voice of the whole band. He can communicate to us and tell us like transitions like in the moment. So we all have a way of knowing what's going on, which is really helpful. He's like the music director too. So he has a lot of roles. Paul is very crucial and important. My bass player, his name is Davison Alvis. He's been with us for 2 years now. Great guy. It's actually like, I'm sure you picked up on this with my band, but so Davison and my drummer, Paulo, they're both Brazilian, and Paul is like, he's kind of got like more of a like Japanese heritage, and like they are constantly joking at each other about like, so Paulo and Davison will talk in Portuguese behind, like we say behind our back, but we're always like, it's just so funny. Like they're just making jokes at each other like 24/7. And I just look at them, I'm like, you guys would like really offend some people. And they're like, it's okay, we're making fun of ourselves and our like funny things about their culture. I'm like, well, just you can make the dumb blonde jokes if you want to. That's fine. But they're great. So Paulo, he's our drummer, and then we rotate 2 drummers right now. We have another guy, his name is Rodney Lyles, and then guitar players we're rotating. We've got 2 in rotation. That day you met Garrett Zoller. He's played off and on with us, but he plays with a lot of bands too. And then we have this guy named Sam Sanders, great dude. But they're all of them are like Seacoast based, and like they're all in the church ministry. So it's all kind of like a family too, because we all like go to like the same church, like might be different campuses, but so we kind of like, I have a steady band, but there's a few like positions that get rotated a little bit due to like different bands they play in, or like their schedule with the Seacoast and everything. I think that's everybody. Keys, guitar, bass, band.
And then your husband was backstage. with you guys too, which I thought was cute. He's so supportive of you, so I love seeing that.
Yeah, he's super supportive, and like he's honestly like it's been like such a sweet thing to see. Like he obviously like lets me do my thing and knows like music's been my life for such a long time, but he's really like done his own work to try to understand like the ins and outs of like the production side so that he can help me with like if we don't have a sound guy, like he'll run sound for us, or he'll like you know set up the gear for me if it's a bar show, or he's just very good at like just taking things off my plate that day, which is really helpful. And so he's a good dude. He's very supportive. I'm very thankful because took me a long time to find that.
Oh, I love that.
But I like to I got those songs written though, so I got my heartbreak breakup songs in my catalog now. I can switch over to love songs. But yeah, we actually met when I was opening for Riley Green. So he was bartending, and I met him because the promoter knew him really well and introduced us. So I actually met him at a show, which is kind of special.
Oh, that's cute. Love that.
Yeah. Yeah, and he loves music. Like he plays saxophone, but he's never like he won't go on stage. Like he like proposed at Red Rocks actually, which was surreal. I'd never even been there. But poor thing, he threw up before he proposed because he's like I do not want to be on stage. I like freaks him out.
Aw.
But it's very funny because he's like the most talkative, like social person, but it's just not like he gets on stage, he sees a bunch of people staring at him. It's just not his thing.
No. Okay. Oh my gosh. And speaking of like church, Seacoast, all that. So how would you say has faith played a role in all of this with your music?
It's definitely it's given me I think the proper perspective to do like be in a career like this, because it's really hard to go after something where it's very competitive. It's very like, I don't know, there's a temptation to make it about yourself because you're the artist and you're self-promoting and your music is important, but also it's like, especially as a girl, it's like your look, your like all these different things that have to kind of be in your packaging and your brand. But I think having a good foundation and knowing like that doesn't define who I am. Like it's not, because it's very easy to find your identity in it when you've done something for such a long time and people know you for it. It can be kind of like, it can just send you down like a weird like mental path where you feel like that's like what you're known for and that's your identity. And if you ever didn't have that, like, who am I? And it just, I think that having faith and knowing that like God has a plan in it, whether that means, I take a break from it and I want to be a mom and I want to go back to it in like 2 years. Like, like I don't feel like I'm as anxious, and I mean, I still get anxiety with it, but like anything, but there's just a little more ease knowing like he has a plan in it, and I'm going to work really hard and do what I can in my ability and in my own ways. But, the other stuff is kind of not in my control. So it just relieves the extra stress you could have pursuing a dream that's kind of crazy and unknown. Cause it's not like my dad always talks about, cause he like was in business for a long time. And my dad was my drummer for a long time. He loves music. But he always says, he's like, music is a weird thing because there's no clear path. It's not like you go to college and you get a degree and you're going to be in this field and you're kind of like have a little bit of a security thinking, okay, this is like, I'm going to go get a job and I'm going to go do this and I'm going to climb the ladder. With music, it's like very, people's opinions of you and like, just the right place at the right time. And there's just so many factors that really they just, it has to be like God ordained. I feel like, because it's like, there's so many people doing the same thing. There's so many people that are right behind you that are just as good or not like way better than you. So it's like, why you? So it's just like, it helps keep you in a proper perspective, I think, to not put so much pressure on yourself. I think it's just like mental health of people pursuing any dream. Like it's just hard. Like when you're putting your whole life into something that like, it's like, hey, this is my heart and soul. These are my songs. This is my story. And then you're kind of the product that's putting it out.
Yeah.
And it's just not finding your identity in that. I think really important. And I think having faith and just being grounded in what's really important is very helpful and very needed.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. And I think that, you just answered a question I was going to ask you anyway. So, and it's like, I love that you brought this up because I think that it just goes into the whole, it's more when I feel like you are kind of choosing something that we're not going in the mundane, like robot, the 9 to 5, or doing the, things that it is questionable and it's hard. And, but you stick to it, you believe in it, you have your faith, so something is gonna, work out. You just believe that.
Yeah.
You have that kind of
it's also like
positive attitude, and
having
done so many amazing things too. So,
well, and knowing like people use the word like, oh, like making it, like, are you gonna make it? And it's like, making it is like such a weird, like, if you're pursuing what you love to do and you're happy and you have a proper, like, a good perspective on it, like, you're making an impact on people, whether that's a smaller amount or it's a bigger amount, but like, you're still being used in that field. You're still actually doing what you're setting out to do. It's just not like obsessing over the numbers and the amount of people, which is very hard because that's kind of what success is being driven by. So, it's just like keeping a perspective on that and like still trying to get those goals, of course, but not letting it just be the one thing that kind of drives your happiness and your attitude about it. Because I mean, with song releases, like you release a song, you're so excited about it, you put all this work into it, and then it goes to Spotify, and like you have your little Spotify for Artists app, and like on release day, you can just like refresh, see how it's doing, and it can take the joy out of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like something you're so excited about, and if you didn't like get the numbers you wanted or something, and then you're like, why am I feeling sad? I just released a song. I'm so happy about it. Look at all these people responding to it. Like, I don't need to like, you know what I mean? And it's like a lot of artists like deal with that because it's like, I think what's his name? Nate Smith. He's a country artist. He just put out like a video just venting, and he's a signed artist with #1 songs, and he literally just was on his tour bus and was like, something has got to change. He was like, I don't like how he's like, I'll get so excited about my music, and then my team is like, oh, well, the numbers aren't hitting. We got to try something else. You need to do another TikTok video, and you need to like go lip sync to it and put a 15-second clip out. And he was like, that's not why we wanted to do music. That's not like, we didn't really want to be TikTok influencers. That's just something that now goes along with it. So it's just having the balance of like knowing you're in the right place at the right time. You're still doing what you love to do and not focusing on this bigger picture of like, well, I'm not there yet, or I'm not at those numbers yet, because it'll just steal your joy.
Yeah. And you actually got me a little teary-eyed because even though I'm not a musician, I know how that is even with like just my podcast or my art, and it's like, oh my gosh, and it's almost like I have the mindset of post it, forget it. Like,
Carrie Underwood, post and ghost.
Yeah. And because like, and you just said something too, like about a song, like sometimes it can take a bit for people to find a song and it'll go off,
and that's what's cool. Like, I mean, I feel like I'm hating on TikTok, but this is a really positive thing about social media is things don't get old as much anymore. Like, someone can go find your song and it can blow up a year later. That's what's beautiful about it, or podcast. You can go find like this podcast and it can blow up and it could take 6 months. You know what I mean? Like, so that's very true. Like, it doesn't have to happen overnight.
Yeah. Yeah. And, too, I think that there's a beauty in the struggle though, isn't there? Like, there's something about it. Like, because if everything was just handed to us all the time, what is that? It's like part of the beauty of life is like, we're out here and we're, like you're putting your, I call it like almost like music art. You're putting your music out there and, it's beautiful. And it's, and it, I don't know, there's just something about the beauty and the struggle too, because then when it,
yeah, well, it makes you relatable. Like, people they don't like, you know what I mean? Like, life is hard, and like people have struggles, and when they can see someone pursuing a dream and knowing that like, they had to, go through some stuff and it wasn't all easy and rainbows and butterflies. Like, it just kind of brings in that humanity of like connecting all of us, where it's like, because everybody's kind of like, what's the saying? It's like everybody shares their highlight reel, and I think being vulnerable and being real is like, that's when it really impacts people. And that's when, it really like touches people's lives. And that's what you're trying to do. You're putting out music, you're putting out a podcast, whatever your dream is. Like, it's really lonely if it was all about just you, like, it's like, I always think of it that way too. It's like, yes, being an artist can feel like, like, it's like all about like how you are presenting yourself and like your branding, but it's like you're actually serving other people, because like they're not going to just show up because they like your outfit, or like you, like they're showing up because you're providing something that is like giving them happiness or peace, or like bringing joy to their life. So it's like you're a vessel that's giving that to other people,
Yes. And if you were to give any advice to any young artists in the Carolinas who are thinking about maybe kind of choosing a similar path to you, what advice would you give them?
I think just trying not to like compare their path to another person, finding what really makes them, like, I was always told, like, find like what really inspires you and makes you an artist, and like what you're like, and like stick with that. Like, don't try to like be like someone else, or so I'd say that. But I'd also say, like, if you're getting into a scene and you're trying to like get your music out, just be like really curious and open to meeting, like, go to other people's shows, go talk to other bands, and like just support them, and then like make a connection with that person. And like, because a lot of gigs I got like were older musicians that went, oh my gosh, I'm sick today, I need to fill in, like, will your band do it? And like, you never know what door's gonna open with that. So and just like pray a lot.
Pray a lot.
It's like journaling and praying just keeps you centered, and like doors will open for you, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whenever I hear pray a lot, I think like, that's what I feel like I'm doing. I'm like praying for a husband. No, I'm just kidding. But
Hey, I did that. I did that. It was like, I used to tell my mom, I was like, where is he? And it's so funny because my mom used to be like, she's like, well, Lauren, you don't know. He could just be out there like being wild and God can't get his attention yet. And now knowing my husband, I was like, that's exactly what you were doing. He's like, I'm sorry. He's like, yeah, I like, you know, like I had to go through some stuff. And then I was like, well, yeah, but like it took you long enough, but here you are.
Yeah.
You know.
I have like yeah. I have like a crush on somebody, but that's all I'm gonna say. But
no.
And
well,
so
that'll be like off when we're off the podcast. We'll get the tea.
All right, okay. And then if you could do a duet with any artist, living or legend, who would it be and what song?
I mean, Dolly is just like I've never even seen her live, and I know she's, you know, she's getting up there in age, and I'm like, I need to see her. At this point, I probably wouldn't even see her live unless I went to Nashville and she was doing some special at the Ryman, because she's not going to tour again, probably. She might, I don't know. But if I could, something with her would be incredible. Mm-hmm. I mean, that would be awesome. We do a bunch of her music, but like 9 to 5 is like such a hype song. Yes, and we end our set a lot of times, especially because like I have like my keys player, like he's like so talented, so he starts it with that like da da da, but you know, people just like, lose their minds, and it's such a fun song. So like, it'd be so cool to just, you know, be able to with her someday would be incredible.
That's cool. And what's a completely like random or surprising fact about you that most fans wouldn't guess? Anything you want to share?
Yeah, I used to play Elsa at a party company.
Oh,
Elsa from the movie Frozen, like the Disney princess.
I can see that. Okay.
Yeah, I used to. Yeah, I didn't have to wear the wig because I'm blonde, but I used to have really white platinum hair too. So that was I did that for like a few years. Like we did like camps and stuff like that. And that was always like interesting because a few of the girls, like they recognized me. Like if I did an outdoor gig and they're there at their parents and they're like a 6-year-old and they're like, it's Elsa. I'm like, no, it's not. And then they'd be like, can you play Let It Go? I played Let It Go at like some bar. It was like a daytime gig. And like the adults were like, yeah, sure. I'm like, this kid is going to be crushed if I don't do something that makes her think I'm still Elsa.
Oh my gosh.
That's probably, I was Elsa. So that was my little double life.
Yeah. When I used to have really longer blonde hair, one of my ex-boyfriend's nieces, they used to call me Rapunzel.
Yeah.
Or whatever that is. I don't know.
It's Rapunzel. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I can see it. No, they take it so seriously too. I have to be up on my princess knowledge, not as much anymore, but those little kids would just ask you questions. And if you paused or didn't know an answer, they'd be like, you're not the real thing.
Aw. That's so so I love that. That's so like random and surprising. So that's cool. And so is there anything like new and upcoming or next with any new music or touring or anything on the horizon? I know we kind of talked about, it sounds like with, you know, your pregnancy, it sounds like possibly that will be, I don't know, but anything.
Yeah. So, I just released a song, I guess 3 weeks ago. My new song Denim just came out, and there's going to be new music in the fall. I didn't mean to plan it this way, but it actually really worked out because now that I'm pregnant and I'm going into this slower season, I have some newer music that I'm gonna start releasing. I'll have another song coming out. I'm not gonna say when, but there's a project that will be released in the fall, so there'll be some new stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. There'll be lots of new music.
Yeah, love that.
So
and I'm definitely
what we'll be next year, hopefully be releasing some songs about motherhood and all the things.
And do you have any dream collaborations or like bucket list venues? Maybe somebody listening could make it happen.
Yeah.
Never know.
I mean, I think I mentioned this earlier. The Opry and the Ryman or Mother Church of country music. Yeah. They actually, I feel like you don't have to, like people that actually play there now, like usually it's bigger artists, but like there's a girl from Charleston, like she's making her Opry debut in August, Haley Mae Campbell, and she's been working her butt off for a long time. But I'm pretty sure she's still an independent artist. So it's like, it's cool that they recognize like people's career, even if they're out there still being independent. Yeah. So it seems possible. Seems like it can happen, but the Opry would be incredible.
Okay. So that's okay. And for listeners inspired basically by your journey and everybody who wants to support and follow you and listen to your music, go to your concerts, where would you say they can stream your music or catch a show or follow along?
Yeah, so I have a website, so Lauren Hall Music. You can find the shows all on there, or social media. Everything's Lauren Hall Music. I do weekly updates, like wherever we're playing, and then the music. It's available on all platforms. So if you're an Apple person or Spotify, YouTube, Pandora, there's so many. There's my distributor has like all 50 of them. Like I didn't know all these existed. Yeah. But they send it all out. So wherever you listen to music, if you type in Lauren Hall, you will find my music. And there's 2 other Lauren Halls. So you might come across someone else's music too, but you'll find mine as well.
Yeah. And for local Charleston people who might just be curious, any relation to the Hall's Chop House franchise?
No, but I've joked that maybe I'm going to use that to try to get free food someday. Or free class. No, it's funny. I've really only been there 2 times recently because I don't really I'm not like a big red meat person. But my husband loves Halls, so we've gone there a couple of times, and we always make that joke. I'm like, just when I could come in here and maybe try to convince them I'm a Hall, I'm a Kraken. I mean, I'll always be Lauren Hall with my music, but I did take his last name like legally, but we always joke about it. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not related, but maybe somewhere down the line I am. I don't know.
Love it. And well, thank you so much for being here on the Dr. Denim podcast today. And
thank you.
Do you want to close with a song? Or do you not?
I could just give me
Okay, I'll pause it real quick.
One moment.
Okay.
Stuff's been packed up in the garage. Well, I could do the song that just came out. I could play Denim. Is that cool?
Okay. Yeah. Sounds awesome.
This is so funny. This is so I guess a pregnancy thing now that I'm experiencing. If I start rushing or I'm up and down, I'm like my breath control. I'm just like,
oh, okay.
I've noticed that on stage, actually, like my band members have been like, we'll watch you, if you're doing a bunch of heavy hitter songs, you'll start gasping for air. I'm like, well, yeah, guys, my organs are getting squished.
Really?
This song's called Denim. It is available wherever you get your music. It is a kind of a metaphor love song, but kind of leans a little 90s country. So here we go.
Love it.
good jeans that don't wear out, kinda like someone knew how to make them just for you. Just like a love that's right, they pull you in and hold you tight. Like your name's been stitched on me, I got my heartstrings unraveling. Cause you got that kind of love, it's a classic, forever lasting. Not gonna just be some faded trend that has an end. At the seams is high quality, got me falling hard and then some. The way you make me smile will go out of style. Kinda like my favorite pair of denim. The way you're hugging my hips, it's just a perfect fit. Kinda like these Levi's, you are my everyday go-to. Dressed up or dressed down, a night in or on the town. You know I must confess, you make me look my best. Cause you got that kind of love, it's a classic, forever lasting. Not gonna just be some faded trend that has an end. At the seams is high quality, got me falling hard and then some. The way you make me smile will go out of style. Kinda like my favorite pair of denim. It's like you're my very own name brand. And these pockets were made for your hands. You got that kind of love, it's a classic, forever lasting. Not gonna just be some faded trend that has an end. At the seams is high quality, got me falling hard and then some. The way you make me smile will go out of style. Kinda like my favorite pair of denim. Favorite pair of denim. There's just nothing like it, baby.
Woo! I love that song.
Thank you.
Yay.
Yeah, it's fun. It's been a really fun live song with the band.
I love it.
Yeah, so
Love it.
It just came out. Go stream it. Go listen. All people
Yes.
listen.
I
Go
will.
add
I'm
it
gonna
to
add
the
it. I'm gonna add
playlist.
it to my
Things.
painting playlist, my likes, all that.
Perfect.
Okay, awesome. All right. Well, everybody, this was Lauren Hall, and thank you for listening to the Dr. Random podcast today. And I hope you all just enjoyed her. I love it. I'm so blessed that she was able to just play a song for us. That was amazing. And yeah, so thanks everybody for listening. Go follow Lauren, listen to her music, support her, go to her shows, spread the word. And thank you so much for coming on the Dr. Random podcast.
Thank you for having me. This is so fun. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. And as always, as we say before I close out on the Dr. Random podcast, I'm just going to say ciao.
Ciao.